I have returned with the hardest of beverages. Water. I'm attempting to limit what I consume in order to ease the pressure on my heart. As a result, I end up drinking, I don't end up diversifying much from milk and water. These are dark times indeed. At any rate, yeah, these are really dark times. Last episode featured some regrettable circumstances. And, Virgil.
What is it that you want of me? What can I answer for you?
What should we be doing now?
We need to find out who this Renford A. Terwilliger is. His name sounds familiar, but I can't seem to place it. He did something that made him famous.
Alright, well, that doesn't help me. Perhaps his name has come up before in this game, especially when I've been in Durant, but damn if I can remember it right now. You know, I have staggered my playtime over a few months, so it's difficult to recover things. At any rate, I have no idea where in the hell those wisps would be, and I'm not gonna bother searching. Just go here. Yes, we used our beautiful teleportation hacks. They are incredibly beautiful. We don't really need to carry around this vial anymore, or the glass. Just go ahead and proceed. Hey there, little dwarf buddy. Come on. The game's hiccuping a bit here. I'm not exactly sure why. It's a little disconcerting. I'd rather it stop.
What is it that you want?
Perhaps the game is just sick of me playing it today. I'll go ahead and take that off your hands. Also, shall we trade? You don't need to have all these things. We know that you don't have to have all these things. You got small robes. I do have something small, though, in here. Don't I? Alright, no, seriously, what the hell, game? You are lagging up a storm. Maybe it's just been upset that I clicked out of it a few times to, you know, queue up videos to upload. Arcanum does not much care for you not having your focus set on the game. It frustrates it a bit. And these Manura coins, got some lava rocks. Lava, liquid soap. I'm sure that'll totally be necessary. Small mystic traveler thing. Yada, yada. Will you wear this? Yeah, I thought you would. I thought that was better than your small robes. You can keep that staff there as a backup item. And I'll sell these small robes to you because, quite frankly, I don't give a damn enough to try to find anyone who might give me a better deal on the situation. Quality sword. Yeah, I'm not exactly moved by it. Alright, so I suppose we can speak with Gilbert Bates about the gentleman in question. Mystery on the Hadrian. Read all about it. I suppose I can also try... I don't know. Looking around here. Maybe try to talk with some people that are around there. I'll try speaking with Gilbert Bates first. That's my best idea on the subject. Let's go ahead and... I suppose I can also check the Hall of Records. Maybe I would have cause to check that? Try to look up the name? Maybe. That's an idea. Why don't we go in here? Game, don't make me restart you. I know, you're confused that I'm having such a long session, game, but you gotta get to work.
You have returned! Tell me what...
Oh, well. That was useful. At least he loves me. Because I have gotten so much prettier since the last time we spoke. Like, you don't even know how pretty. Actually, you do know how to pretty. If I had carried around that statue, I'd be more charismatic as well. Well, let's try this idea then. Department of Water Clerk? Where am I? I do here. Hall of Records. Let's see if I can get some records. You allow me a few more questions. Are you able to help me locate an individual? Renford A. Terwilliger. My apologies, sir. There does not seem to be an individual by that name, Tarrant. I was told that he could be found here. Yes, maybe we should. How far back do you wish to inquire? 100 to 200 years ago. Search some other dates? Oh, good news, sir. Renford A. Terwilliger. Human, born unknown, died 1804 here in Tarrant. Well, this would explain why we were unable to locate him here. Do you wish me to retrieve his obituary? I should have just asked for a fucking obituary, huh? I thought maybe he might have an estate or something. Yes, please. Yes, here we are. A hymn. Renford A. Terwilliger, author of Sin Ang, Horror Among the Dark Elves, was found dead in his home today. His death appears to have occurred among mysterious circumstances. The authorities are calling for further investigation. Oh my, what a dreadful incident. Are there any books contained within your archives? We gotta look at the question. Years. More civilized. Well, I don't know what that tells me. We found out about him.
What is it that you want of me? What can I answer for you? Let's go to the library in Tarrant. We need to get ourselves a copy of Horror Among the Dark Elves.
Go to the library. I don't remember where that is. Have I even been to the library? Surely I've been to the library. Okay, that's the Zoological Society. So, we're not gonna worry about that. This is an unlocked door. That gives me nothing. Nothing. You get nothing. Good day, sir. Good day to you. What's over here? Just a place? People? Yes. Well, I don't really want much of anything from you. Perhaps I could complete that tombstone quest now that people like me, right? Right? Hello? Is there... Hello? Oh, met, sir. Where can I find a copy of Horror? I'm most appreciative. Let us trade. You have a bow of terror? That sounds pretty cool. Not exactly sure why I'm bothering to look through these trade screens. I guess to like admire the equipment these folks have. Can't remember where the library is. Need you people to... Oh, we need to play Daggerfall here. I need you people to point things to me on the map. That's what I need from this game. I need you to say, it's here, and I'll go, okay. And then we'll proceed. Essence of intellect. You just have those magic robes, which aren't inherently a bad thing. Go ahead and look back here. I can't remember having gone back here before. But surely I popped in. Oh, it's locked. Ah, it's locked, you say. Damn. I'd like to go in there. I'd like to take a peek. I'm pretty interested in dark magic. But, it seems that I will not be transpiring. Okay, if I were a library, where would I be? Holy crap, there's things back here I've never looked at. It doesn't surprise me. I never bothered to look back there. I didn't even realize there was things back there. Well, at this moment in time, I might have noticed it before. University Court? What's this? We got a locked cabinet. Does it contain prizes? Cannot kill the battery, but not exactly what I'm looking for. What's over here? Oh, the library! Hey! How about that? Hello! Greetings, allow me to welcome you to the Library of Tarant. Could I interest you in becoming one of our esteemed members? Membership? Please, could you tell me a little about your facilities? This is the great library Tarant was created 60 years ago, and the king chose to make his extensive library available to the public. King? Tarant no longer has a king. The tale is a heartbreaking one. Some would say that when technology began to come into power, it was the king's desire to industrialize Tarant slowly. Others thought the king was holding technology back from the people. Though the kingdom was thriving, the royal court was in turmoil. Go on. Yes, the League of Gnomish Merchants was gaining power. One day the king was found dead, the queen and the prince were missing, having no heirs, the royal court was disbanded, the Gnomish Merchants Guild took control. Tell me about the membership. That is correct. Anyone who wishes to peruse our volumes of knowledge must become a member. How much is it for a membership? I would like a membership, but the fee seems a bit high. The library contains the fortunate knowledge for the exclusive use of its affluent members. I'm curious, what do you think a fair price would be? I'm quite a haggler, 500 coins. I would not normally accept such an offer, but I find you harder to resist. Here's payment. Thank you. At the time for more questions, do you have Sen'ang Hor among the Dark Elves? Does the library have it? Renford A. Terwilliger. I'm sorry, sir, but I was not able to find Sen'ang Hor among the Dark Elves. However, I did find another book that may be of interest to you. What book would that be? The book is titled Curse of Sen'ang. It appears to be a book about the one you are searching for. Sounds interesting. May I check it out? Thank you. No, nothing else. Well, then. How long is this? It's not a horrible font. The Curse of Sen'ang. In the following pages, I, Kendrick Wells, will attempt to explain in the plainest words possible the mysteries surrounding Renford A. Terwilliger and his controversial work known as Horror Among the Dark Elves. Many of the stories I will present to you are both strange and frightening, but I give you my word as an author. Virgil's so gonna interrupt me, isn't he? But I give you my word as an author and a scholar that they are the truth. Decide yourself, after the facts are presented, whether or not you dare to believe them. Renford A. Terwilliger was born in 1750. His fabled trip to the Glimmering Forest was made in 1768, his 18th year. He was indeed, as per his book, accompanied by an elven tracker named Jerin Benal. Records housed within the Tarantian Zoological Society validate this fact. Mr. Benal was never heard from nor seen again after the expedition. As for Mr. Terwilliger's account of his adventures in the elven city of Kintara, or his supposed discovery of the mythical Sen'ang, no one can be sure. Most scholars and collectors of literature assume that Mr. Terwilliger's book is a work of fiction, and as such fantastical literature was all the rage at that time, I might be inclined to agree. Yet one must only look upon the events following the publication of Horror Among the Dark Elves to see that he very well may have found something deep within the glimmering that was never ever meant to be found. There were very few copies of the book ever published. Records concerning the initial print run are scarce, but it is believed that no more than 100 were ever released to the public. 4 days after the book was shipped to Tarantian bookstores, the factory that printed it was burned to the ground. The owner, a Mr. Jeremiah Gomes, was found in his home brutally murdered by an unknown assailant. The 4 bookstores that had purchased the volume for sale in Tarant suffered the same fate. Only 15 copies of the book were sold before the final store was destroyed. Those 15 copies became an immediate collector's item. Enormous sums of money were paid for the remaining volumes. After a few months, the books had fallen into various, respected collections across Arcanum. I've noticed that I've begun to say Arcanum now, instead of sticking to my guns about Arcanum. This colludes with my attitudes towards the elves in this game. I am disappointed in myself. Each and every one of the owners of the books began to complain of strange happenings once the book was in their possession. All of them told of frightening noises and visions, shadowy figures following them wherever they went, unexplained illnesses and untimely deaths. Many attributed this to paranoia, a trite brand of sensationalism to create an even greater demand for the book. Unfortunately, their fears were all too justified. All of them were dead within 5 years of the initial publication, their volumes either stolen, burned, or disfigured beyond recognition. Stolen, burned, or disfigured. Indeed, they had suffered what came to be known as the Curse of Sen'ang. Mr. Terwilliger, strangely enough, lived a relatively long life, cursed in his own way to witness the evil fruits of his labors. He saw himself as the cause of these horrors and wrote extensively of it within his memoirs. The following is an excerpt from them, only days before he died in his sleep. I will never forgive myself for what I have unleashed upon the world. Had I the courage, I would travel again to the Glimmering and unleash holy vengeance upon those evil creatures that have plagued our fair land and its peoples. Alas, I no longer have the strength nor the power, and now there is only my own end that I pray for every day. Until just a few short months ago, it was thought that there were no remaining copies of Horror Among the Dark Elves. After an exhaustive investigation, I have found that this is not at all the case. The last known copy of the book, owned by the famed book collector Mr. Philip Misk, was thought to have perished with its owner in a fire almost 50 years ago. Now, with new evidence, presented by a reliable source, I have discovered that Mr. Misk's son, Victor Misk of Caledon, still has the copy in his possession and is hiding it for fear that the curse will again visit his family. I pray that the evil let loose and the glimmering has finally been put to rest, and I pray Mr. Misk and his family avoid the fate that has befallen every other soul who has challenged the curse of Sinong. Holy shit, Virgil didn't interrupt me. Well, Virgil.
What is it that you want of me?
May I ask you some questions?
What can I answer for you?
What should we be doing now?
We need to find Caledon. I'm sorry to say I don't know where it is. Down south somewhere?
Very, very informative, as always. Also, I'm glad we managed to save some coins. I did run out of bank, what with becoming Haggle Master and all. What's this place? Hello. Might I ask you, I'm Benjamin Gershwin, Doctor of Phrenology. Did you say phrenology? It's a science of the head. Will you read my head? Your powers amaze me, Benjamin. I'm interested in the skulls of the Renard Siamese twins. Yes, interesting case. That they were elvish debutantes who were joined at the hip their whole lives. Scandalous characters as well. Stories of their exploits still float around the elite Tarantian social circles. Is there anything else you can tell me about them? Well, there are quite a few interesting rumors in the air about their heritage not being completely elven, and bizarre conspiracy theories somehow centering around them. I had the opportunity to examine the skulls before they were interred, though, and I can tell you unequivocally that they were purebred elves. All the gossip is definitely untrue. Well, that's nice. Ancient diagram. I've seen that before. I've seen that before. These are god symbols. They're on altars. Pleasure it is to make your acquaintance. Greetings, sir. Might I ask who you are? I'm Professor Aldous Buxington, and I am the head of the religion department here at Toronto University, and you are... I'm Grimith. Might I ask you a few questions? Tell me about what you do here. Mostly I teach classes, but I still do a fair bit of research when I can find the time. Well, what sort of research are you doing right now? Currently I'm studying the older pagan religions of Arcanum. As I'm sure you're aware, the Panari had been the favored religion in Arcanum for the last 1500 years, but in the years before the Age of Legends, there were many religions and many gods. Each of the races had certain gods that they prayed to, and those gods are what I've been studying. Could I ask you a few questions about the pagan religions? Tell me about the pagan gods. There were 12 pagan gods in all, 8 lesser gods, 1 for each of the 8 races, 3 greater gods, and the All-Father. Offerings were made to the gods in hopes of getting their blessings, and each god demanded a different offering. I've done quite a bit of research on them. I wrote a book about them. Would you like a copy? Sure. I have a few more questions. Are there still pagan temples? Yes, there are still individuals who worship them as well. Both the Order of Halcyon and the Cult of Gesh-Tiana are examples. Most of the ancient pagan temples are in ruin now, but you can still find them scattered throughout Arcanum, and some still have their altars intact. Do you believe in the pagan gods, dear Professor? Do I believe in them? That's an interesting question. I've studied almost everything there is to know about the pagan gods. I've visited some of the temples, even made an offering or two. All I will say is this. I've seen enough to know that these ancient beliefs are not to be trifled with. Tread lightly among the old gods, my friend. What is that diagram on the wall? We call that Mazarin's Mystery. Who was Mazarin? Mazarin was an elven mystic who did his share of research into the old religions. About 3,000 years ago, he wrote the Book of the 12 Powers, which was a fairly critic analysis of the pagan religions. According to Mazarin, there was some sort of a deeper connection between all of them. What do you mean, deeper connection? Well, Mazarin believed the gods and their powers were somehow interwoven, and this diagram is supposed to explain how they are related. Certain gods don't get along with other gods. So-and-so begat so-and-so, get blessed by this fellow, and that fellow curses you, that sort of thing. Can you explain the diagram? There is an excerpt from Book of the 12 Powers that might help to explain what it means, but no one has ever been able to solve Mazarin's mystery. That excerpt is the book I wrote. Well, I already have one. A few more questions. I'll be off then. I am posing you in a moment. Tell me what you do here. What are you doing right now? Diagram of the wall. A few more questions. A few more questions. A few more general questions. Anyway, now. These three have circles around them. This one has the most circles around it. This has one. Well, one thick one, and then that smaller one. That has two, and then that smaller one. And that one has three. These three connect to that. These four are also in the same category as this one. And these four are the same category as this one. There's even an order to it. So, say this palm tree to the reptile one, which is probably that altar I saw there in the Glimmering Forest, takes me to this Odin-looking motherfucker, to Geshtiana, to the sun, and then we have to the hand, to, I'm not exactly trying to interpret that, to like a goat, to the crescent moon there. And then... Alright, so... These altars here... I'm thinking there is a... If I had found this place much sooner, if I'd come here, if I had thought to look behind the Zoological Society, there is a methodology here, an order to the altars. I would say there's even a puzzle associated with them. I got a blessing from one. Perhaps if I collect all of the blessings, and there might even be an order attached to them as well. Perhaps there is anyway. Because the lines here, they start and then they don't continue, so it's not an entire, like, oval shape. So I picked Geshtiana here, but if I started an entire order, or maybe I started with him and moved my way through to the end. Alright. Yeah. In the book here, the following is a brief description of the pagan religious figures of Arcanum. Most, with a few exceptions, have been forgotten and lost to antiquity. It is this author's experience that the old gods do indeed have power, and are not at all to be disavowed. There's a lesser god for every race in Arcanum. I have classified them into three categories: the noble lesser gods, the neutral lesser gods, and the darker lesser gods. There's Terrell, the elven god of wisdom, the Geshtiana, the human goddess of love, both intelligence and insight, beauty and charisma, Alveric, stone god of the dwarves, pretty sure I've seen his, chunks of lava rock. I've sold plenty of lava rock. Pretty sure I've sold plenty of lava rock. Increased strength. The Bedokin god of the hunt, yes. Speed. One-armed Bolo, the halfling god of thieves. Halflings used to offer rings. Ah. Move more quietly and help them to open locks more skillfully. Curlin, the golden god of the gnomes. Wanted only the coins that were made of his work, and so gnomish offerings were always of money. Perhaps those Manura coins? Shakar, the orcish god of war? The ruins of Kree? Alright, willpower. Torg, god of the ogre heart. Rubies. Alright, the greater gods. Halcyon, the god of truth. Always the branch of an olive tree, which are most difficult to find in light of the destruction of Morbihan Forest. Moringdal, the god of shadow. Black diamonds. Katen, the goddess of balance. The geode, yeah, I've sold plenty of those too. and Valorian, the Allfather. And the 12 powers, they are woven together, flowing inward. The road to truth starts with wisdom, but shadow first finds purchase in the heart. The road between them is marked with stones. The gods, they are jealous gods and often despise one another. 4 powers and then a 5th, 3 5s and then the 1. And glory to he who gains the blessing of the Allfather, who become as a god himself. Maybe that's not the Allfather. And the circles go inward. So 4 powers and then a 5th. 4 powers and a 5th. 4 powers and a 5th. So then you have the 3 powers, and you get the Allfather.
Ah, and you become as a god. Well, this is fucking intriguing. Shit. Damn it. See, this is something that folks who are watching could have told me about much sooner. But if you had told me about it much sooner, then I wouldn't have this moment right here where I'd went, fuck, I get it now!
And those are the moments I enjoy. I really do enjoy those. And maybe I don't exactly get it. Maybe you can laugh at me along the way. Alright. Alright. Yeah.
What is it that you want of me?
Why don't we think about that? Why don't we think about that, and if I continue to play this game, then perhaps I might try to pursue that angle. Before you stands a tall, bookish man with spectacles perched on the top of his head. He is oblivious to your presence as all of his attention is focused on a telegram. Suddenly he becomes aware of your presence and looks up. Oh, excuse me, I get so involved in these telegrams people send me. I get questions from everywhere about demons. Amazing, really. Who are you? Yes, of course. You'll have to excuse my excitement. I am new to this whole phrenology discipline. My colleague, Professor Gershwin, is doing wonderful things in the field. By way of introduction, I am Professor Eakins, scientician and expert in demonology. You're mixing magic and science. I am a scholar involved in research. Magic and science are the opposite sides of the same coin. To be truly knowledgeable, one must study a tremendous variety of things. Specialization is for insects and orcs. Ouch! I see. What can you tell me about demonology? Well, it concerns the study of demons, obviously. I was just thinking about a rather humorous one, actually. Name of Gorgoth. Can you tell me about it? Gorgoth was a mindless demon roaming the countryside. He had an insatiable appetite, would eat anything he came across, and this is the funny part, he happened upon a village of halflings and ate them all. It seems he had a sweet tooth for halflings. Isn't that great? I guess? Oh, he was banished to some other realm with some nonsense. That's what they used to do with troublemakers back in the day. Alright? I wish there was more to tell, actually. I'm just scratching the surface of the new ways of scientificdom, such as my exploring of phrenology. Science will solve all the world's ills within 50 years, you know. Alright, I must go. And you, bookseller. What sort of books do you sell here? Well, as I'm sure you're well aware, Toronto University is an institution dedicated to the study of science. The books we sell here are about science and technology as well. What help are these books, friend? The manuals that we sell are very helpful in learning general knowledge about a particular technological discipline. If you find yourself spending most of your time studying electricity but are interested in learning a little something about chemistry, then a chemistry manual will give you a little added expertise without having to commit to a full degree in chemistry. Yes. And I suppose if I were pursuing these things, then those manuals would matter to me. Well, this has all been rather fascinating and learnful.
What is it that you want of me?
And we're going to be heading to Caledon next. Alright. Alright. Well, this has not exactly been the most exciting video, but I'll be damned if I don't feel like I haven't learned something. I'll be damned if I don't... Yeah. Yeah!